You're watching Worldview 2, built on the 35 years of Worldview books, documentaries, research, high-profile interviews, and the radio and television broadcasts of Brannon House.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Live Up to Freedom. It is Wednesday. We made it halfway through the week. I'm just not sure if I'm super excited about the weekend. I'm sure you've all heard about it. We are all hearing about it, that this weekend is going to be war because they can. But that's not the topic of my show today, so I'm just going to leave it at that, and I will say it better not happen. Our government better stop them, round them up, put them in handcuffs, take them in, and sort it all out during booking or even after. I don't care. But we have other topics to discuss today, especially topics that are, again, sadly going, being overlooked because, well, there are riots. I can't help but to. I promise I won't go there. Okay, so let's just start with our first topic because it's very important. I think it's ironic. It's hilarious, hideous, it's still dangerous. But I don't know if you've heard or not, but UN just made an announcement, and you want me to give you like 5 seconds for you to guess who's going to be the new seat or new chair of counterterrorism for UN? You guessed it. Pakistan. UN just announced that Pakistan is going to be the chair of counterterrorism. I almost feel like I shouldn't need to explain that, but then I will explain that, and I will, as always, plug my own Substack here because I just released a Substack describing what will happen when, not if, but when Pakistan falls. Then week later, UN decides that Pakistan is a great choice for chair of counterterrorism. The irony that it's, I don't know, it's kind of like, hey, for me to have my cat watch the milk, right? So let's break it down for whatever time we have on this segment. For anybody who might have, for whatever reason, never heard why Pakistan should not be in charge of counterterrorism, I actually made a list. Can you believe that? I'm so proud of myself. Just few samples of Pakistan involvement with terrorism. I could go generic and say they have supported other terrorists. I can say they have terrorist groups inside their own country. I could say they have funded terrorism. I could also say, remember, they do have nuclear bombs. They're not building it. They're not working their way up there. They already have the bombs. They're sitting on them. I should also mention that Pakistan didn't exist. Pakistan was a bunch of Indian Muslims who wanted to not coexist with Indians. So Britain came along and said, here, we're going to draw a map here and we're going to give you your own border and you can be Pakistan. Which, since I'm at it, the word Pakistan by itself should be questioned. Why? Yes, they pretend that PAK, the way it's written, STAN is all the first alphabet character of each group or tribe that made Pakistan, but in reality, the translation behind Pakistan is land of the clean because they wanted to have no filthy non-Muslim inside their land. I'm getting sidetracked, aren't I? No, that's actually basically the point. They have done so much of terrorist involve, but I actually made a list to go over some of them, and I won't even drag it on. For example, we all know this one. When September 11 happened, the very first place that gave safe haven to bin Laden was Pakistan. That was it. Pakistan immediately gave safe haven to bin Laden. What do I have here? In 2008, I highly doubt, especially our audience on World YouTube, I highly doubt that you don't know this one, but the Mumbai attack. I'm sure you all pronounce it maybe differently. The attack in the Mumbai hotel that ended up killing 164 innocent people. That was 2008. Pakistan's terrorist group. What else do I have here? Well, there's of course there's the daily attack on the border, the India-Pakistan border. Every day we got the terrorists going on there, but I was told not to bring that up. This was a new discovery for me. Are you all familiar with Financial Action Task Force? I recently came to know such an organization exists, and they apparently go with FATF. Financial Action Task Force. It was apparently created in 1989 under the G7 to basically stop any kind of money laundering, funding, terrorism, bad money usage. And I did not know, but in 2019, FATF actually added Pakistan to their gray list for funding terrorism. What else do I have here? Of course, there's the support for Taliban, especially the second time around, 2021, when Taliban came to power in Afghanistan. Pakistan has been absolutely supportive of Taliban. And then we have the ISIS-K that comes from Pakistan. Should I go on? I don't think I need to go on. You get it. We all get it. Apparently, UN doesn't get it. UN thinks it's such a fantastic idea to have Pakistan as the chair of counterterrorism, because that's what UN does. And funny enough, this isn't even about Pakistan right now. It's about UN. It's about why are we still part of UN? Why? Why are we still wasting taxpayers' money to fund UN? Why? Now, officially, chair of counterterrorism is Pakistan, one of the highest symbols of. I mean, you say in any country, you say terrorism, Pakistan automatically pops up right next to Iran and Afghanistan, doesn't it? Like, these three names are always on the map. Not funny, but funny. So, chair of counterterrorism of UN is Pakistan. The chair of human rights, as of right now, Islamic Republic of Iran. Don't even get me started on that. And then we have, of course, the women's right, that is Sharia, Saudi Arabia. How much worse does it need to get for United States of America to say, bye, we're done, we're not going to fund this anymore? Because I know we all want to celebrate on all the wins, which, by the way, is this week. I'm not sure exactly how many wins we are collecting. Not being sarcastic, drop dead. Like, what? What happened to all the wins? I guess they're turning the table. But even with that, can we push a little bit? So our tax dollar isn't funding these terrorist countries, these governments that are, and by the way, if it came out wrong in my English, I'm not saying we're paying Pakistan, Iran, or Afghanistan, or Saudi Arabia, which technically we are. I'm saying us funding UN is giving UN the ability and the capability to continue emboldening Pakistan, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Iran, all of them. Can we stop that? I'm sorry. I feel like I dove in way too quick and way too fast. Why? I have no idea. I'm a little frustrated. I should say we are live on WorldViewTube, which you can watch us on worldviewtube.com or all platforms under WorldViewTube. We are also live on X America News, xamericanews.com, or on platforms such as Rumble, YouTube, and X. We're also live on my platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. I think those are the only. Oh, Substack. Hello to all of my Substackers out there. Very grateful for your support. Last month or so, you guys have been amazing. And then, and I am keeping an eye on comments. So if you have anything to say about each topic, we're going to try to see the comments by end of each segment, so I don't move on to the next topic and then miss your points. I think. Yes, we still have 3 minutes on this segment, so let me actually go to the comments real quick. Hi, Anne on YouTube says, the terror cells soldiers are here, as you know. Tulsi is fear-mongering. And I'm very aware, yes, I agree with you. I've done pieces and videos on terror cells or lost soldiers in America. Now, you might say Tulsi, I'm guessing you're referring to Tulsi Gabbard as a fear-mongering. I would say Tulsi Gabbard is a traitor. I warned about her before she was even confirmed, the moment her name was dropped by Trump administration. And here's my proof. The first testimony she gave in front of Congress was sit there with a straight face and claim that Islamic Republic of Iran, based on her intelligence right now, information she has in front of her, Islamic Republic of Iran not only doesn't have the bomb, they're not even trying to build a nuclear bomb, and they are following their supreme leader's fatwa or judgment of 2008, and we're all in clear. Let them do what they're doing. And that testimony, by the way, is available everywhere. So if you want to confirm, because originally when I brought it up, few people say, I need to hear that for myself. Sure, go ahead. Just look up Tulsi Gabbard testimony in Congress, Iran nuclear, and boom, you get the answer. And the name you said, I don't know that person, but I will most certainly look into them and see if I can find out who they are. I don't know who they are, but I will look into them. Okay, so that's for now on the comments. I have 1 minute left, so let me conclude on this. There's a lot of frustration, of course, for people like me, ex-Muslims, who are trying to, wake people up. But then at the same time, I feel like today in 2025, which is specifically June 11th, 2025, most Americans should be aware of, even if you want to deny Islam being what it is, if you want to say not all Muslims decent, all of that good. But when it comes to the actual countries, I mean, unless you were living under a rock for last 10 years of your life, one way or another, you know what Iran stands for, you know what Saudi Arabia stands for, you know what Pakistan stands for, you know what Afghanistan stands for. Again, you can be absolutely nice and polite, look the other way, and sugarcoat things. And not all Muslims. I have a Muslim neighbor who's amazing, drinks beers with me, have bacons with me. Do that, fine. But are you seriously telling me that you're not going to push back against us funding UN while UN is enabling these terrorist regimes? I mean, if that's comfortable for you, it shouldn't be. But if it is, I felt like today the first segment should be another warning to all of my fellow Americans that pick up the phone, call your representatives, let them know that you are very aware that Pakistan chair of counterterrorism is mockery of us. We know who they are, we know what they do, and we don't want our tax money funding them. Well, we got to go to our sponsor ad, because you know what? This is how this network, Worldview YouTube, is being funded. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, hello everybody. It's Annie Cyrus. Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. But I'm sure, for at least I hope, I'll see you at lutfstudio.com. Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. I greatly appreciate it. And yes, if you would like to support what I do, which is a lot, You can go to lutfstudio.com. That's lutfstudio.com. That's where I put all of my artwork, and they're all made by myself, handmade, one of a kind. And if you want, you can use the promo code MISSION for special discounts, and portion of that purchase will come back to fund our mission for freedom, which is a child of Live Up to Freedom. The programming for that is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, where I join Miriam Shaw, my co-host, on that program, but we do way more than just shows on Mission for Freedom. lutfstudio.com, lutfstudio.com. Use promo code MISSION for special discounts and support what I do and what we do at Mission for Freedom. Okay. We got 12 minutes. This one's going to need 12 hours. And I'm going to try not to yell and scream into this microphone. And if I do, I lean back. Did you hear the glorious news? Mayor Khan, what a suiting name, even though that's the wrong pronunciation of his name. Mayor Khan was just knighted by King Charles. If I could put up that picture. It took me a minute to have the capability to stare at this picture and not feel heartbroken. It is such a comedy. It is such a spit in the face of, to me, I am not by birth or by naturalization. I don't have any roots in UK. Okay, Great Britain. I know a lot about it. I have visited it, but I don't even belong to that country. And my heart was shattered from the spit in the face of that moment. Knighthood is it's an honoring of service, bravery. Again, I'm sure anybody can look up the history of knighthood. Those who've been knighted by the kings or the queens. And yeah, I know most of my audience are on the same page when it comes to King Charles. But this was kind of sort of that last nail in the coffin. Mayor Khan, the man who has officially stood for Sharia in London and in UK for so many years, bluntly and openly creeping Sharia into London and other places, as knighted? Where is the honor in that? And again, I will emphasize that I understand King Charles is all about one world order. He has always been an Islamic apologizer. But I am sitting here for last 48 hours. This happened about 48 hours, less than 48 hours ago because of time zone difference. I'm waiting to see where is the outrage by the people of UK. Where is the outrage? This is part of your heritage, your history. It was supposed to be an honor. Like, it's a huge deal. I have not seen any outrage yet. Hopefully we will. And the outrage isn't about reversing it and, let's go back to what it was. The outrage is to voice your concern about what is happening to your country, just like I tell my fellow Americans to voice their concern with Sharia here. So for sake of argument, for anybody who might have never heard of Mayor Khan or his actions or his cons, I made a list. I have been so organized today. Mayor Khan, in 2018, he officially, publicly stood firm defending the existence of Sharia courts in London. It wasn't that he looked the other way or he ignored it or he hid behind the curtain saying no comment. He actually defended it. He stood there and said, for the population, the existing population of Muslims in London, we do need a Sharia court. He defended it. This was 2018, 7 years ago. I guess since nobody had any outrage about that, why would they be outraged about this now? It didn't click until now, actually. Moving on, Mayor Khan has allowed, as the mayor, has allowed the Islamic Relief Worldwide, which is an organization that does Islamic relief, pretty clear, charity supposedly, with very strong ties to Hamas, And Khan has repeatedly allowed them to legally continue operating in London. Did I mention they have strong ties to Hamas? I'm pretty sure I did. Moving on, what do we have? Oh, that's what I'm going to read from here. In 2019, Mayor Khan was criticized for downplaying the seriousness of female genital mutilation in the UK. And this report, by the way, you can find it on Daily Mail, just in case if you want to again confirm. Don't believe me, go do your own research. So yeah, he downplayed the female genital mutilation issue. He has downplayed the grooming, the rapes of Muslim grooming white girls, Muslims raping white girls, Muslim families mutilating their Muslim girls in London. It has always been downplayed by him. I have oh, that one's a good one because I reported it back in 2017 with visual and all that. In 2017, Mayor Khan, it was the first time the Al-Quds rally was allowed on the streets of London. I have done extensive coverage of this, or what the Al-Quds is. Basically, it's a day on the Islamic calendar. Sunni or Shia, doesn't matter. They all actually do this one. But funny enough, it was generated that day, was put in the calendar by Khomeini, previous supreme leader of Iran. That is the day where all Muslims rally in support of Quds, which is Palestine, right? I'm glad I looked at my list. Mayor Khan not only allowed that, it basically issued all the permits they needed to walk on the streets of London chanting death to Israel, because that's what they do on that rally. What else do I have here? This is kind of fun. Apparently, again, and by the way, 2017, 18, and 19 was the heat of Khan pushing Sharia into London. And that's why I'm like, if it didn't bother anyone back then, I shouldn't worry about today, because he did it in one full force. And then when he realized everybody's going to keep quiet, then he just let it practice itself out. There is no yesterday for me. Yeah, does he make comments that are ridiculous every day? Absolutely. But as far as the actual actions that has resulted into Sharia formation of London, 2017 through 2019 was the heat of it. I remember one of the things which was really ridiculous was, some of the Islamic or Muslim owned stores, clothing stores, started actually putting hijab on the mannequins because they wanted to sell hijab. And but the head it was more of a bald head of a mannequin. And when some Londoners kind of made fun of it, he got close enough to saying he's going to actually mandate no head of mannequin on non-Islamic stores because it could be provoking Muslim man. He didn't push it forward. It didn't win. But my point is, he was so close to literally turning London into Londonistan that he went that far in 2019. Anyhow, what do I have here? Yes, in 2017, also the Khan government or London government did fund the Islamic schools in London. So the London government under Khan funded Islamic schools. And we all know what that means. At least those of you who have followed my work, either my Substack, my programming, my speeches, whatever it is, for last few years, you all know what that means. Because in Islamic schools, it's not like a Catholic school or a Christian school or any of that. In Islamic school, what they teach are the books that are right in front of me. I'm actually leaning on one of them right now. It's the Islamic teaching, which means they're basically teaching kids to grow up and become either the funders of terrorism and jihad or become the jihadists themselves. But that was another thing. Anyhow, I think you get the picture, or at least I hope you get the picture. This man, who pretty much figuratively and literally burned down London streets and its culture and its heritage and its roots to turn it into what it is today, including where they celebrate Ramadan and they celebrate all the Eids or Aids. He was knighted by Charles. King Charles. And I think it gets more curious when you realize that it didn't get a broader coverage. It's one of those things like, does Charles know exactly what he did? And he's just like, they're kind of like, okay, cameras, go home. We're all good. Nobody needs to drag this on because soon people are going to complain. I don't know. Let me check on the comments as we come to the closing of this segment because I don't want to miss your comments. Let me see. Josh says, let me see if I can get this. I saw recently that there is a restaurant here in Columbus now called Halal Burger. So I decided to prank call them and ask if they had bacon burger. They did not like my question. Huh. Honestly, Josh, if I were you, I wouldn't prank call them. I would contact my representatives and ask them, why is there a halal burger here that is going to take American money and fund Islamization and terrorism based on Islamic tax? But again, that's just me. I don't make light of these issues. I don't prank call them. I call the representative. Like, you want to tell me why there's another halal store next door that can fund the demise of myself and my fellow Americans? Hey, Lawrence. Yes, I am back, and I will be here, Lord willing, Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Anyhow, okay, sorry. Let me check on other pages, making sure. So anyhow, congratulations, Londoners, and furthermore, congratulations, Britons. You have your first London mayor and first Muslim to be knighted. And basically now Sharia has even hijacked your knighthood. A beautiful part. I always enjoyed these parts of the, history of Great Britain has always been my joy. Good or bad. I like to watch the ceremonies and I like to dig into the history, but yeah, they just hijacked that too. They literally stole that part of your culture, but I guess you're all cool with it, right? You want to coexist, so coexist away until that very sword that knighted Khan will come back to, well, slay you wherever they find you. On that note, when we come back, we're going to cover the next topic right here in America, right here, talk about representatives. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Brandon House. I want to thank you for all your support at wvwfoundation.com that helps make possible pushing out 24/7 content for free. Without your support, we'd have to put it all behind a paywall. But thanks to you and your support through our foundation, we're able to push it out for free as a broadcast service and broadcast ministry of WVW Foundation. Please consider going there and setting up an automatic monthly contribution, or go there and make an occasional contribution. If you prefer to support us through the mail, you'll find our mailing address there at wvwfoundation.com. You can also call and make your contribution over the phone by calling 901-825-0652. That's 901-825-0652. Again, all these details are available at wvwfoundation.com. Thank you for your support as we try to help people around the world understand the times through the lens of a Christian worldview.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. If you haven't, well, that's okay. Guys, I want to emphasize on a few things before we dive into the next topic. Not topic, next news. When you see an advertising, every time we take an ad break, I want you to don't run for a bathroom break or refilling your drink. Networks like Worldview Tube, or even Ex America News, these networks, it's impossible to self-fund. Okay. And the cost is way more than you would actually sit there and calculate on your own. So when you see an advertising, I want you to, if they're selling something that is somehow within your realm of life, give them a call. Go to the website. When you support our sponsors, you're supporting our existence. So just figured I should say that. And again, if you want to just, for whatever reason, you want to just support me, you only have budget to support me as an individual, liveuptofreedom.com. You have all sort of ways there, from PayPal to direct donation, my artist studio, becoming a Substack subscriber. Any of those ways are possible. Let's go. You ready? I'm not. May Lord help me as I get through this segment. Can we put up the screenshot of Isra, Ilhan Omar's daughter, please? So she made a post on Instagram. Well, I should say a reel, or reel, however you say it. And this is a confirmed account. I have seen the account myself, where it says, from LA to Rafah, there is one common oppressor. Death to the colonial empire. Life for our children. This is posted by Esra Hersey, which is Ilhan Omar's daughter. Let's dissect this. Let's do it. From LA to Rafah. I mean, LA is pretty clear, right? You're with me. Los Angeles. The burning Los Angeles is what she's talking about. And then there's Rafah, which is the border, a small town of Gaza border, that is reportedly under the most attack. That's Rafah. So we're going from Gaza border Palestinians to Los Angeles, California. That's from LA to Rafah. There's one common oppressor. And then death to a sitting congresswoman's daughter just said death to America and Israel. I don't care how creative she is. I don't care how poetic she is. There is no way around this post. There is no way, logically or not, emotionally or not, to twist this into any other meaning. Actually, she wasn't creative enough, and she wasn't poetic enough to make it disappear. I don't think she wanted to, though. You know why? Because she has gotten away with a lot more before under umbrella of mama, because nobody touches mommy, remember? Ilhan Omar has said worse than this. Ilhan Omar has compared America to Germany, to Nazi, to Hitler, right? And nobody did anything. She's a still sitting congresswoman, isn't she? Now, I want to play what I love to play all the time. Let's imagine that this post on Instagram, or this reel on Instagram, was put in place by daughter of, I don't know, I don't even know if he has a daughter, but let's say he does, Jim Jordan, during Biden regime. Just go with that scenario for a minute. Oh boy. By the ways, if that ever happened, I would be the first to say exactly what I'm saying right now, because I don't do the, if this side does it, I praise it. If that side does it, I criticize it. That's just me personally. But imagine if Jim Jordan had a daughter and would put something like this out under Biden regime. Can you imagine what would happen? But this post makes it out there, gets lots of traction. And I literally genuinely looked. I have not seen any network, either side of the aisle, even mentioning it or addressing it or bringing it up. I was kind of like, woo, look at me. I'll be the first one to talk about it. Woohoo. No one has, within the government, no one has questioned Ilhan Omar of like, ma'am, your daughter just called, basically wished death to America. And also, you could go as far as saying this could be, motivational for what's happening in LA and the rest of the blue cities and sanctuary cities. Could we go there? I could. I mean, they stretch stuff all day long. Why not me? And I just bought a very long extension cord. No one has contacted Ilhan. Did I say Elon? I guess Elon Musk is talking about me. No one has contacted or called out Ilhan Omar on social media. This post is still up and running. If I would put this post up reversed, saying, for example, Hamas is a monster that is killing Jews, the post would be removed and I would probably be banned for a couple of days bare minimum by Instagram. The post is up and running. It's spreading like virus. It's being a screenshot and posted on other platforms by her followers. And this isn't hypocrisy. This isn't double standards. I just want to make it clear that that's not what I'm saying. This is not double standards. No, this is Americans being comfortably numb. This is what it is. A sitting congresswoman's daughter is allowed to think that she has the right to post this. And when she does, when she takes the action, when she delivers, it is confirmed that it is okay for you, not everybody else, for you, your specific class. What is that class? The class that has all the victim cards to play. There is the race card, there is the skin color card, there is the Islamophobia card, there is the sexist card. She's got all of those to play. And on top of that, Mama got the bigger cards to play right behind her. So being comfortably numb and comfortably cowards, the message has become more and more clear to people like Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Keith Ellison, Obama, and the rest of their family and friends that you do you, boo, because we're too scared to say a word, because we don't want to be labeled, because we don't want Congresswoman Ilhan Omar retaliating. So you do what makes you feel better. And we're just going to sit over here, either not even look at it, so we're not even aware. We don't even have the information, so we can be even more comfortable, because it is way more comfortable to not know something than know it and pretend like you don't know it. That was a lot of knowing going on. Lack of knowing. So I want to be very clear that I'm not sitting here bashing this girl. No. No. The American society has allowed her to comfortably do what she did and hold her head up. So she's not to be blamed. The first time she did things like this, the second time, the third time, the first time her mom did it, the first time Auntie Rashida did it, there was no backlash, there was no outrage, there was no consequences, there was nothing. Nothing. So we are at a point where not only our cities are burning down by actual individuals, but now we are at a point where children or family members and loved ones of our lawmakers, those who are shaping the future of law and order of this country, chant death to America like they do in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, and other places. I'm going to take a look at comments real quick while hopefully what I just said sinks in. Lawrence said, when Joshua conquered the land of Canaan, sorry, that's how we say it, Canaan, they failed to conquer Gaza. The reason why is because of the Nephilim. Wait, was Gaza there back then? Ilhan Omar illegally entered the U.S. under false pretenses. She lied on her application. Well, but that's the thing, Lawrence. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to digest the first comment for a minute. On the second comment, though, because it is closer to the topic of this moment, that's what I mean by we have created the monster. We have. There is so much evidence out there for just an investigation. How about this? Forget about a conviction. Forget about any of that. Just an investigation. Can we do that? Can we just do an investigation into Ilhan Omar? You know, the marrying the brother case, lying in application, which it wouldn't be her basically because she was too young to do the application herself. Her comments, her affiliations with Erdogan in Turkey, right? But we don't do that. Of course, our government won't do it because they're part of the plan. This plan that you all believe in, yeah, it is part of the bigger plan. Take down America and build their deluded utopia on the ashes left behind. But we don't do it because we don't hold our representatives accountable. We don't pick up the phone. As Josh said, best we got is prank call them, like it's going to hurt their feelings, and from there they're just going to pack up and go home. That's the thing. I will encourage everybody, if it's easy to do, if you could put up my Substack real quick for easy handle seeing. Go to Substack at Live Up to Freedom, as the Substack, liveuptofreedom.substack.com. The Substack that's coming out tonight at 7 p.m. That might give you a better understanding. And this one is a free Substack, so just it will be released by 7 p.m. And if you become a subscriber, you will get a notification when it does come out. But the one that's coming out tonight might give you a better understanding of what I'm saying this very moment of we got to do something about it because the government won't. The related departments aren't going to do it. And there's so much I can sit here and blame Islam and Sharia and Muslims and CARE. But at some point, I would like to sit here and say, well, we're at fault because we are at fault. There's a handful, maybe not even a handful of people who would do what I'm doing. And that's actually, let me just hook that into, we got to take a quick break. So let's go take our last break. And then when we come back, I will finish this thought. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
But with Brandon, it's always cutting edge stuff happening in the world, and it's not just from the political angle, because you can get that on other platforms, but it's always from the biblical angle. So you're dealing with a guy that loves Jesus, you're dealing with a guy that's very intelligent, you're dealing with a guy that is cutting edge conservatism, and you're dealing with a guy that wants to be biblical all at the same time. And so for that reason alone, I hope many, many people will not just lift up his ministry in prayer, but will also financially get behind it, because from the angle I'm trying to describe, he really is the only game in town. And we desperately need it in these last days. Can I get an amen to that?
Hello, I'm Brandon House. Is the government tracking you? Do they have access to all your data? Well, if you go to worldviewtalk.com, you'll find out about a cell phone company that, well, does not store your data. They don't do that. This is what they're known for. They don't store your data. You have privacy. You're not being tracked. That's why a lot of folks are turning to worldviewtalk.com. You'll find their prices are very competitive. All the details are there at worldviewtalk.com. Again, worldviewtalk.com. Oh, while you're there, not only do they have cell phones that aren't tracking you, you can find out about how to get a satellite phone. Should the whole system go down and you want to communicate with a family member or a loved one, you might want to have a satellite phone. Or how about their solar generators? They have great solar generators. Check them all out right now. Worldviewtalk.com, worldviewtalk.com.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. I appreciate you who have stayed with me until now. Okay, I'm going to conclude my thoughts on the last segment, and then we're going to finish up on a fascinating note here, being sarcastic. So yes, bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, as long as you're not willing to make the sacrifice, and you're willing to continue compromising, it is what it is. The messages are going to get harsher, and the literal death to colonial empire will become death to America directly. And then from there, well, you've seen what's happening in LA, Chicago, New York, Atlanta, and a few other cities. So it would be great if you would do something. What is there to do? It's a long list, but get educated, swallow your fear, get back on your feet, realize courage is not something you got to go buy. You were born with it. All you need to do is tap into your faith and understand that God is with you, regardless of the circumstances, is always with you if you truly believe that He is your Savior. And then stand up, make the calls that you need to make, and spread the message the way you need to spread it. But I feel like I've been saying all of those sentences for about 10 years now. So if it hasn't gone that far, I don't think it will either. And no, that's not me quitting or giving up. That's me being realistic. Okay, last topic of the day. I do enjoy it very much when they actually say it themselves and the Westerners decide not to hear it. Let's put that up, actually. Let's put that up. So one of the heads of Taliban, Maulana Fazlur Rahman, which the name isn't important, he just came out with a fascinating statement, one sentence, nothing else. And it literally says, to stop child marriage is to go against Islam. Boom. Boom. Mic drop, nothing to say. There you have it. This guy, now this was some people trying to push for change of legal age of marriage for girls in Afghanistan. And his response, if you try to stop child marriage, you're going against, well, technically he said the soul of Islam. The soul of Islam is child marriage. Huh. And that's why on the thumbnail of today's video I said they're not even hiding it anymore. Because they're not. They're not. Their constitution says it, their civil code says it, their leaders come out and say it. And still people like me, I just had a couple of bad experiences. I didn't become a child bride because Islam said so. It was because my dad was an opium addict who needed opium and money. Oh, come on. So love it when things like this come out. Love it. And he's right, by the way. He is right. We all know Muhammad's 11 wives, and the youngest and his favorite, Aisha. Age 6 marriage, 9 consummated. We all know that. She was 18 pretty much by the time Muhammad died. So the marriage age, the gap age, who cares if the man is 65 and the girl is 12? Muhammad did it. There are Quranic verses that I have said over and over and over. There's the divorce, chapter 65, when it tells the man, literally it says, if you decide you don't want your wife anymore, that's fine, just divorce her. But when you divorce her, give her a grace period. And the grace period is 90 days, 3 months. Or exact way described in the Quran is 3 menstruation, which makes it 90 days or 3 months. And then within that very chapter, I want to say verse 5 is the first time it says, and if your wife hasn't reached the age of menstruation yet, just count 3 months. Huh. What does that make the wife? A child. In order to divorce the wife that hasn't reached the menstruation age yet, you should have married her first, right? And then there's, of course, chapter 4, verse 3, my favorite, the one that my dad showed me. If you can afford to pay the fair amount for an orphan, then buy her. If you can, go buy somebody else. So fascinating. And again, as you notice, the screenshot we put on the screen was written in Farsi, because that ain't gonna make it anywhere in the Western news. No, we don't do that, right? We don't do that. We coexist. And we love them. But the problem is we have gone from loving the sinner to loving the sin. We love the sin now. LGBTQ's newest member of MAP, right? MAP. Minor attracted people. Now they love the sin, not the sinners. They love the sinners too. The amazing, I have another Substack I released, I don't know when, but at some point I released it a few weeks ago, last week, whenever. That is my gift to LGBTQ community when they stand there and support Islam and Palestine and free Palestine and all of that. I gave them the gift of their own verses and their own teachings and their own penal codes of every Islamic country of what's going to happen to them if they did actually have the Sharia over their head, or if they were in Palestine. Bottom line is, child marriage is the soul of Islam. And they will say it, but we will not publish it in American reports or newsletters or newspapers or websites, nor will we do it in Europe, because even though they are trying so hard to actually come clean, their tequila days are over, right? Now they're just bluntly telling us the truth. Now we play the cover up for them. Why? Because for so many years we enabled them. And I shouldn't even say we, because I don't fit into any of these categories. But you know what? It's easier to say we than me trying to figure he, she, they, them. We have enabled them. We have painted them as this ally for so long that it would be so embarrassing to come out now and say, listen, you know how we said people like Aynaz just had a bunch of bad experiences and she's Islamophobe for generalizing her childhood ripped apart and her innocence grabbed away from her. We painted her as Islamophobe because she was saying this is part of Islam. Yeah, she was right. And we basically bashed her for 10 years, banned her, shadow banned her, didn't support her, named her a hateful, bigoted Islamophobe for 10 years. We can't do that, right? Just stick with the narrative. There's a narrative, there's a story, we got to stick with it. Otherwise, we're going to look really bad. So, as I said, the screenshot was in Farsi because I could find that on Afghan International because they report the truth every day. If you go look for it anywhere in English language websites out here, you won't find it. And I have a feeling, even if I posted it, still wouldn't happen. It would make maybe 2 shares and 1 like, because that's what happened on social media, right? And I have literally monitored my social media. Even those of you who are watching this show right now, which there are plenty of you actually, amazingly today, probably the number of shares or retweets of this video is maybe 3 or 4, because you're gonna listen, but God forbid if you retweet it or reshare it on your page, because then you're gonna have to carry all the labels I do. And that is what I'm complaining about today. It's okay with me, but it's not okay when this is all gonna come back knocking at your door, and that might be the moment you say, shoot, I should have spread the message. But I can't make people do what they don't want to do, right? Josh says, well, at the time, it seemed funny to do. I don't have the insights that you do, Aynaz, into all the ins and outs of such things. Josh, I'm guessing you're referring to the prank call you made. You should have all the insights of mine. You have been following me avidly for almost 5 years now. You have liked probably 9 out of 10 posts a day, and you have been the first comment on each post. With that, you should have plenty knowledge by now to pick up the phone and call. And I think you have sent me at least 30 emails. You're more than welcome to email and say, hey, Aynaz, I'm planning to contact my representative about the halal burger. What should I tell them? Other people can say that I have answered those emails. And that's the thing, excuse, right? It just sounded funnier, and I don't know as much as you know, so I sit here and watch your show, and then I move on with my day. Make the next prank call. Come on, guys. We are dropping the ball. We are not doing this right, and I'm done excusing everybody. There are so many ways that we can fix this, but we won't because it's too much work. Yes, and that's a great point to close on because I only have 1 minute left. And now, Epic City in Texas. Like, I don't even know. I had people who are like, oh my goodness gracious, how? What do you mean how? What do you mean how? Since September 11 of 2001 until today, we have managed to convince ourselves it was an inside job. How do you think Epic City comes to be? Our hatred for our own country has overgrown our cautious towards our real enemy. I should probably post that. That's a good statement. On that note of that statement, remember Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be right here on worldviewtube.com, xamericanews.com, my own platforms of Live Up to Freedom on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, and everywhere else. I will always address your questions, your comments, even if I'm not always agreeing with you or making you comfortable about your actions. That is what I do. Until tomorrow, when I'll be back with Miriam Shaw and Mission for Freedom at 4 p.m. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and try to get involved. Thank you, guys.
You're watching Worldview 2, built on the 35 years of Worldview books.